Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Royalty Daily. I am Jimmy Carden, your royal news reporter, and oh my goodness, do I have the most perfectly timed and most wonderfully warm royal story for you today, because tomorrow, Saturday the 6th of June, 2026, the British royal family is gathering in the beautiful English countryside for a wedding, a real royal wedding. The first royal wedding since Princess Beatrice's quiet Windsor ceremony back in 2020. And friends, this wedding has everything. A love story that started at a children's sporting event, a beautiful NHS nurse bride, a gorgeous historic Cotswolds church, a reception at one of the most beloved royal estates in England, William and Princess Catherine dressed up and celebrating love, King Charles and Queen Camilla in the pews, and one very notable absence that tells you everything about where the royal family stands right now. But before we get into every beautiful detail, I want to remind our wonderful Royalty Daily family, if you are new here, please hit that red subscribe button right now and tap the bell so you never miss a single fresh cup of royal tea. We are here every single day, just for you. Now let us pour this wedding tea together. Let us start with the groom, because Peter Phillips is someone that I think many of our American friends may not know as well as they should. And his story is wonderful. Peter Phillips is the eldest grandson of the late Queen Elizabeth II. He is the son of the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, and her first husband, Captain Mark Phillips. He is the King's nephew, a cousin to both William and Harry, and the brother of Zara Tindall, Queen Elizabeth's eldest grandchild. And friends, here is the detail that makes Peter so particularly interesting and so particularly admirable in the context of the British royal family. He has no royal title. He was born into the family of a princess. He could have had a title if his mother had wished it, but Princess Anne, famously practical, famously no-nonsense, famously determined that her children would live as normal a life as possible, chose not to give her children royal titles. And Peter has lived that philosophy completely. The choice of venue suggests the wedding will be more private and pastoral, keeping in line with Phillips's untitled status and preference for a relatively low profile. Unofficial royalty CBS News, no title, low profile, private and pastoral. A man who happens to be the late Queen's eldest grandchild and the King's nephew, and who goes to work and lives his life and plans a Cotswolds church wedding with the woman he loves, without any of the ceremony or the pressure or the extraordinary scrutiny that comes with being a titled royal. I find that genuinely admirable, and I think it says something beautiful about the values that Princess Anne instilled in her children. Now let me tell you about the bride, because Harriet Sperling is someone I think you are going to love immediately. Harriet Sperling is a pediatric nurse with the NHS, Britain's National Health Service. A pediatric nurse. She spends her working days caring for sick children, and tomorrow she is going to walk down the aisle of a beautiful Cotswolds church and become the wife of Queen Elizabeth's eldest grandson. They made their public debut in May 2024 at the Badminton Horse Trials in Gloucestershire. Throughout the following year, Sperling continued to appear alongside Phillips at events such as Royal Ascot and Wimbledon. In August 2025, the pair announced their engagement, later making their debut as an engaged couple at the royal family's annual Christmas Day church outing at the Sandringham estate. Hello, CBS News. Christmas Day at Sandringham. Friends, if you have been welcomed into the royal family's Christmas Day church service at Sandringham, that is not just a date, that is a statement. That is the royal family saying, she is one of us. She belongs here. And Harriet Sperling, the NHS nurse from Gloucestershire, who met Peter at a children's sporting event, belongs there completely. This is the second marriage for both Peter and Harriet. Peter married Autumn Kelly in 2008, the first of Queen Elizabeth's grandchildren to tie the knot. Their divorce was finalized in 2021, and they share two daughters, 14-year-old Savannah and 13-year-old Isla. Harriet was previously married as well, and she has a teenage daughter, Georgia, from a previous relationship. Two people who have been through the difficulty of a marriage ending. Two people who know what loss feels like and what it costs. And two people who found each other through their children at a sporting event in the most wonderfully ordinary way, and chose to try again, to open their hearts again, to say yes to love again. And I think that is one of the most beautiful things about this wedding. It is not a fairy tale first love story. It is something better than that. It is a second chance story, and those are always the most moving ones. CNN. Now let me tell you about the wedding itself, because every detail is gorgeous, and I want you to feel like you are right there in that Cotswold countryside tomorrow. The ceremony will be held at All Saints' Church, a historic parish in Kemble near Cirencester. The church is just a short drive from Gatcombe Park in Gloucestershire, the home of Peter's mother, Princess Anne. The 730-acre estate has long served as a countryside base for the royals. Peter lived there for a time following his divorce, and his sister Zara Tindall still resides there with her family. 730 acres of English countryside. Rolling hills, green fields, the kind of landscape that makes you understand why people have been writing poetry about England for 1,000 years. And right in the middle of it, All Saints' Church, Kemble, where tomorrow Peter Phillips and Harriet Sperling will stand before their family and their God and make their promises to each other. CBS News. Following the wedding, the reception will be held at Gatcombe Park, the residence of Peter's mother, Princess Anne. The area is also Peter's childhood home, so the location carries a special resonance for the late Queen's eldest grandchild. Special resonance. Peter grew up at Gatcombe Park. He knows every corner of that estate. He raised his daughters there after his divorce, and tomorrow, after he and Harriet say their vows, he will bring his new wife home, to his mother's estate, to the place where he grew up, to the countryside that has always been his sanctuary, and the whole royal family will be there to celebrate with him. Dose Packer. Both the wedding and the reception have been curated by Peregrine Armstrong-Jones of Bentley's Entertainment. Peregrine, who is the half-brother of the late Princess Margaret's ex-husband, Anthony Armstrong-Jones, has worked with Peter in the past organizing his 21st birthday celebrations, which were held at Windsor Castle. He has also organized parties for Princess Anne, as well as Peter's sister Zara Tindall's wedding to Mike Tindall. Away from royal parties, Peregrine has also done David and Victoria Beckham's wedding, as well as Hugh Grant's wedding. The Beckhams and Hugh Grant, and now Peter Phillips and Harriet Sperling. Peregrine Armstrong-Jones clearly knows how to throw a wedding that people will be talking about for decades, and I have every confidence that tomorrow's celebration at Gatcombe Park is going to be absolutely magnificent. Dose Packer. Now let me tell you who is going to be there, because the guest list, or what we know of it, is absolutely wonderful. William and Princess Catherine will be at the church and at the reception at Gatcombe Park. Can you imagine? Our beloved Princess Catherine, fresh from her Italy triumph, fresh from receiving Italy's highest honor, fresh from being called the most important royal of 2026, dressed up for a summer wedding in the Cotswolds, celebrating love with her husband William at her side. I love everything about that image. Phillips's parents, Princess Anne and Mark Phillips, are likely to be present, along with Zara Tindall and her husband Mike Tindall. Zara and Mike Tindall, who are always the most fun members of any royal gathering. Mike Tindall, who plays Prosecco Pong with Princess Catherine, and who makes everyone at every event feel like they are at the best party they have ever attended. This reception at Gatcombe Park is going to be wonderful. CBS News. As for King Charles and Queen Camilla, King Charles and Queen Camilla are expected at the church, but are likely to attend only the church service and not the reception due to prior commitments at the Epsom Derby. The Epsom Derby, one of the most important dates in the British horse racing calendar, and one that the royal family has attended for generations. So Charles and Camilla will be in that beautiful church tomorrow morning to see Peter and Harriet make their promises, and then they will head to Epsom, which honestly sounds like the most perfectly British day imaginable. A royal wedding in the morning, the Derby in the afternoon. God bless England. Dose Packer. Now I want to talk about the notable absences, because they tell a story just as much as the attendances do. And the most significant absence of all, the one that Hello magazine exclusively revealed in May, and that has been confirmed by multiple sources, is Prince Harry. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are notable absentees from the wedding guest list. A friend of the groom told Hello Magazine, Peter and Harry haven't spoken for several years and have simply lost touch, so he hasn't been invited. Have not spoken for several years and simply lost touch. Friends, those words, simply lost touch, are doing a great deal of quiet work in that sentence. Because losing touch with your cousin, your blood relative, your fellow grandchild of the late Queen Elizabeth, is not something that just happens accidentally. It is the result of choices and distances and divergences that have accumulated over years into something that now looks like estrangement. And it means that tomorrow, at a royal family gathering in the Gloucestershire countryside, Harry and Meghan will not be there. Another family event. Another empty chairs. Trent Hunter and Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York, the mother of Beatrice and Eugenie, is also not expected to be there, which, given the circumstances surrounding her former husband Andrew and the ongoing situation with the York family, is perhaps not surprising. But it is still a quietly sad detail, another absence, another reminder of how much the royal family has changed and contracted and shifted in recent years. And yet, and here is the thing that I want to leave you with today, tomorrow there will be a wedding, a real, genuine, beautiful wedding in a historic Cotswold church, with an NHS nurse in a wedding dress and Queen Elizabeth's eldest grandson waiting at the altar, with William and Princess Catherine dressed up and celebrating love, with Zara and Mike Tindall probably already planning which Prosecco to order, with Princess Anne, the mother of the groom, the woman who raised Peter to be exactly the kind of man who marries an NHS nurse in a private country church, sitting in the front pew with everything she has built gathered around her. Because they are marrying in a church, the couple needed special permission to wed, as both have been married before. Per the Sun, the couple have the vicar's permission. They got the permission. They planned the wedding. They chose the church and the Cotswolds and Gatcombe Park and Peregrine Armstrong-Jones in each other. And tomorrow, they are going to stand up in front of their family and make their promises. And it is going to be wonderful. CNN. The royal family has had a complicated and sometimes painful year. Andrew's situation, Eugenie's pregnancy announcement, and all the questions it raised. Princess Catherine's recovery and triumphant return. The Harry rift deepening. The reconciliation hopes fading. Against all of that backdrop, a wedding, a second-chance love story, an NHS nurse, and a man with no royal title who happens to be the king's nephew. In a field in Gloucestershire with the whole family gathered around, sometimes the most important thing a family can do is come together and celebrate something good. And tomorrow the royal family is doing exactly that. Congratulations, Peter. Congratulations, Harriet. From all of us here at Royal Tea Daily, we wish you every happiness. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, friends. I am Jimmy Carden, your royal news reporter, and I hope this story put a warm smile on your face, because it certainly put one on mine. If it did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with someone who loves the royal family as much as you do. And please subscribe to Royal Tea Daily right now, because we have so much more wonderful royal tea coming every single day, and I want you here for every drop of it. Leave me a comment below. Are you excited for Peter and Harriet's wedding tomorrow? And what do you think Princess Catherine will wear? I want to know every thought. I read every single comment, and I love every one of you. Until next time, God save the King, God bless America. I am Jimmy Carden, and Royal Tea Daily will see you very soon, darlings.